Okay, here's Reed. We're going to pay attention to his front foot. As we notice, a lot of this opening is happening from the front foot. That's just going to elongate the space on what we think we have. Anytime that foot's down, we don't want to see anything open. So he needs to put more tension on this front knee to open it up just a little bit. So that way it doesn't lose traction from putting energy into the ground. Okay, so if that front knee's open, it shouldn't as open up that front foot as much as when he swings. Still making solid contact. Everything's extended going through, so it looks nice. This is Tane. He's on the block, and the same thing. Tane has that same problem. He just needs to go ahead. Anytime there are blocks right here, we want to see that energy open with that energy needs to be opened with that front knee so he could have more tension into the ground. So he's using more of the hip and leg. Right now he's closed off, so that's why that front foot feels it has to open. So it opens enough to activate his glute, and now he has tension into the ground. Then we could hit it there. Okay, next one, I think we got Andrew on both blocks. And Andrew does a good job with getting to there with his barrel both times, I believe. Let me see how long this video is. Yeah, he just missed it here. And the same thing on this one. Watch this belly button. Anytime we see that belly button rotate off, that's a bad sign, but we're trying to keep that belly button in. You see how belly button open and the chest pulls out? We need to try to get that barrel before that belly button. Here's Bennett. What he sees is that relationship's not right. Remember, the relationship is going to be knob to the catcher and the barrel overhead. So as that ball's coming, then he finally reaches back, in which this is the position we should start from. We don't want any negative tension. As we see, the ball's not even in the frame, but now the ball's in the frame, and that's when the shoulders are moving, but not the barrel. So imagine if when we start there, when he sees the ball and he actually turns into a positive energy, then he may have a chance to hit the ball. This is only one swing, though. And we have to be able to hold that front foot. Don't let that front foot spin off. Here's Jones. Same thing. That elbow locks in. He elongates the arms. And everything wants to go from there. He just needs to learn how to relax that front arm. Luke, watch this whole front leg. It's going to want to lock up right there. If that front leg locks up with a lot of y'all, that means we're trying to create that energy almost as we're casting. So anytime we lock up, similar pattern is going to be with that front arm. If that front leg locks, then the elbow is going to lock. Everything's going to be a front side, like just locked up in general. So then the hands are going to cast out. Most of those hitters will hit ground, pull side, and weak oppo flare. Good turn, but watch when we get to the turn, there's going to be no extension of the hands. That lets you know he's just trying to accomplish the task at hand of hitting the ball and not driving through the ball, because look at the bottom hand. The bottom hand stops moving forward, and it brings that barrel back for the rollover. Hagen's in the same boat as a few of our other guys. Look at the relationship. This relationship is here. We need to be to the catcher. So if he gets that barrel to the back right there, then we would be in a good frame. Then we wouldn't be as late. His hands are quick enough and we're hitting it in a good enough position. We just need to start with the hands further back. Remember, this is a point to when that front foot has land and we're working on the snap. And I think these guys are still trying to accomplish their load when the ball's coming from a quick position. This is Tane. We've watched this video with Tane already. Tane is a guy, I'm going to draw a line over his white hat and look at how much he sinks down into the ball. It's almost like he's concentrating so much on hitting the ball that he wants to shrink down and really be precise with it instead of letting his arms work in full length. Here's Bennett's 5 swings. Everything's good. I just don't like that front leg. See how this front leg's caved in a little bit? So we know if that front leg's caved in from this point, everything's going to have to rotate open at some point. If he doesn't work to extend that front leg, right there, he's locked up with that front leg. And you see he's done after that. He has no power to go ahead and go to the point, go to the front side. So he's just going to go all arms. And as soon as we get to this extended point, he can no longer drive the barrel up. So he's just going to go out and around from here because his leg's already done. So what I would want to see from him is to get that hands away from him, knob to the catcher, him lengthen out this front leg, open it up. And the same thing, that way he creates more space to operate into. He's trying to move in a tight space and he is a bigger kid. Here's Jones. Same thing, lock and lunge, lock and lunge. We have to understand that in order to maintain connection, if you read the notes that I sent, they'll say motor one. So motor one should start with the elbow going to the back rib. Then we rotate all together, the whole back side. A lot of these kids want to move the lower body first. And when they move their lower body first, they don't have the bat speed to catch up with the ball. A lot of these guys need to start with their hands first, then connect their body. So the barrel is going to be facing down, letting you know that the barrel is late. So if the barrel is late, why wouldn't we quicken up our hands? This is what they're trying to learn. Luke's almost there. And that was a good swing for Luke. He's almost there, just that front foot. And the same thing with Luke. Luke needs a little bit more space here. Everything else looks good. I'll be worried about that front foot to see if he moves it. And he doesn't move it, but you see how he locks up this whole leg? Watch him extend the kneecap. He locks it up. He's locking up so early. So if he locks up that knee, the right elbow should be locked up too at the same time. So he's basically casting that barrel away. Casting that barrel away. There we go. This is a better connection. We see those elbows. That back leg's working a little bit too fast, but we could see the elbows working together. The other thing is, I would want to see this elbow, the front elbow, rotate up, in which it doesn't. He brings it in. If he rotates in a tighter space and if he rotates it up quicker, then he would be turning the elbows. And he's almost on time. That should be a ground ball off the middle, in which it is, because he's on time there. But the same thing, that's what he needs to learn how to do, is rotate those elbows in a tight space to operate everything out in front. There he leans the body. Let's see what he does. Yeah, and it makes him late. You see, lean, then go. Lean, then go. Hagen made a good adjustment to see his hands are a little bit away from his body. And the same thing, ground ball up the middle, that's good for him. Hagen is a little bit of exception because he has quicker hands than a lot of people. So he's able to get away. What we're trying to do is create the space so he could create power. And you see he's turning right there. That's what we want. You see that turn is with that back. There we go. Now that's a good swing. Now he goes back to a tighter position. And see, he gets a good swing off still. But these are good swings in a tighter position. We're not rotating that front foot so early, and we're letting the elbows work.